Happy Saturday, everybody. This should be a relatively short video today. What I'm going to do is talk about plugin maintenance and why that's super important. I tend to do mine once a month, one Saturday a month. In the morning, I'll do that before I go outside and work in my wood shop. And so that's what I've done this morning. And I want to share some thoughts on that as well as some opinions about some plugin manufacturers that I happen to use here in my studio, the ones that I think do a great job to make that process easy. And then there's a couple out there that I think have a lot to be desired. And so I'm going to talk about those this morning. So part of this is a little bit of a rant, and the other part is really educating to make sure you understand why this is important. If you're the type of user who keeps your operating system at its most up-to-date, those of us been doing this a while don't recommend that, but we know a lot of people out there still continue to do that. And so it's always a little bit risky doing that, depending on how many different types of plugins and applications and everything that you use that need to retain their compatibility. Sometimes updating the operating system can throw that for really just flush it down the drain very quickly. And it's very difficult to deal with that after the fact, which is why you should always back up so you can always restore a previous version. There's other ways around that, but that's not this video today. Today, we're going to talk about keeping your plugins up to date. So if you're one of those users, you need to check on a regular basis to make sure all of your plugins are up to date, as well as if you happen to be a subscriber to any particular plugin bundles, you want to find out if they've added anything new. And if it's a good installer, they're going to tell you that. If it's a bad one, well, we're going to talk about that too. So let's talk about the process right now. And let's talk about the plugin manufacturers that I use. Now, keep in mind, this is not an all-inclusive list. There are plenty out there that I may or may not have experience with, but these are the main ones that I use here in my studio. So I'm only going to talk about those. If you've got some plugin installers that you love and do a great job, maybe put that in the comment below. Or more importantly, if you've got some that absolutely suck, like the ones that I'm going to show you here in a second, then definitely put those in the comment sections down below so I am aware of those. And so maybe I can speak to that at some point in the future. The reason I'm going to be critical towards a couple plugin manufacturers today is not trying to criticize their plugins, not trying to criticize anything other than in 2024, in my opinion, it is inexcusable for any freaking software manufacturer not to have an amazing installer. It's insane. So there's a couple out there that I'm going to draw attention to that are incredibly disappointing, even though the two I'm going to talk about today are known for having very good plugins. And I'll have something to say about one of them, some more frustration here in a second that's going to upset some of you folks. But let's just show as an example some of the features that I like and some of the plugin manufacturers that I think do a great job. I'm going to start with Universal Audio. When they first came out with their Spark program, their installer was terrible. It absolutely sucked. It's like pulling your hair. This is why I don't have hair. Universal Audio, this is because of you. No, not really. Not really. But today you have a great installer. So let's take a look at it. So here we are on the Universal Audio installers. You can see right here, it's showing under the Luna tab over here. It's showing that I've got 3 plugins that I don't have installed. It's great that it tells me that. Now, I don't use Luna, so there's no point in me installing these, so I don't worry about that. If I go over to my UAD plugins, here's where it's going to tell me if I need any updates. This is what we need. I need to know if it has any updates to make it easy. I need to know if there's been any new plugins added and make that incredibly easy to use. Preferably, all of these things are in the top bar of the menu choice, so I can choose to update all and not have to do them individually, or install all available ones. These are important ones, and Universal Audio checks all those boxes. Great job, Universal Audio. Now we're going to talk about Slate Digital and SSL. Well, you may say, Barry, why are you talking about both those together? And I'll show them to you separately. Well, that's because if you've been living under a rock, SSL bought Slate Digital sometime last year, And so now they're combining those plugin packages and really making that thing very compelling if you're into that subscription model. Okay, for those of you out there, quit cringing right now. But if you want to do that, they're adding new ones to it one by one, and it's kind of exciting. And I got to check out or see that I had some new ones available today via the SSL one. But let's see if both of these check all three of those boxes. So here we've got Slate Digital. You can see at the top, I've got 3 plugins I haven't installed. Right up here, you can see up here where I'm pointing to that. And so those are 3 plugins that I haven't installed. Now, I hadn't done this yet with Slate Digital, and so as soon as I finish making this video, I'll update those. But I don't want to take up time to do that right now. But it tells me if I've got any that need to be updated, any ones that are new installs, and it makes the process seamless. For the record, Slate Digital, even before SSL bought it, had the very best installer I've ever seen of any application on the planet. Great job, Slate Digital. Stephen Slate, when it was yours, great job. Great job, SSL, for continuing with that tradition. So let's check out your installer. All right, man, aren't those some beautiful plugins? This is just a beautiful installer up here. This is probably wins for the prettiest darn installer thing of them all. I love it. Great job on that. But as you can see here, all of mine are up to date. It even found one that needed to be repaired, and that really took me by surprise, and I thought that was really cool. So between Slate Digital as well as SSL, of course, they're all in one right now, but they're independent installers for now. I'm sure that'll change at some point, but fantastic job. Now we're going to talk about some of the ones, well, really 2 of them I'm going to call out today, which absolutely suck. It's inexcusable for these 2 manufacturers to have the most despicable plugin installers I've ever seen in my life. I'm just putting it plain and simple. I know I'm ruffling some feathers here, but Atura Audio being, drumroll, Acoustica Audio, right? They have a loyal fan base, and man, I tell you what, I will get scolded for this. They're going to tear into me for this because they are a very defensive group. Let me say this about Acoustica Audio, in my opinion. I think there's no plugin manufacturer on the planet that more accurately represents hardware than Acoustica Audio. There's none out there. None. Unfortunately, that comes at a cost. But I think I have to really talk about this because I'm going to criticize them on their installer as well as some of their plugins, and their installer is god-awful bad. If you're like me, I use VST3, I use Audio Unit, and I use AAX here in my studio. Why in the crap do I have to install each one of them individually? Tell me that. Tell me why I have to go in and install all my VST3, and then all my Audio Units, and then all my AAX, and it takes forever. This sucks. You have no idea if anything's been updated. You have no idea any of that stuff. Complete garbage installer. If you put as much attention into your installer that you put into developing your plugins, you'd think you'd want to get it right out of the gate, and you're not. And I'm just speaking the truth here. I'm sorry. I know, my God, I know I'm going to get hammered in the comments section because it's such a group. But, and I understand why you're a fan. I get it. Trust me, I fully understand, but you have more patience than me. Okay, off the rant on Acoustica Audio. Finally, I'm going to talk about a plugin manufacturer that I endorse. Not paid endorsement. I mean, I like them. I'm a big fan. I think they're great. And if there's any one subscription plan out there that makes sense, it's this company, without a doubt. Because let's say, for example, you're on a bundle let's just keep the math simple, $10 a month, right? And so you pay $120 for a year of their plugins. Well, at the end of that year, they're going to give you a voucher for $120, basically, that you can use to buy their plugins. And yes, if they're on sale, it still applies towards that. So you've got nothing to use. You've got plenty of time to use it. There's no, you've got the whole year to use that thing, so it's not going to go away. You just got to knock that thing out. So you pick the ones that you really like in the bundle. and you own them now. You don't do it. So over a period of time, you get the ones you like, you can cancel and move on, and you've got what you need. It's a no-brainer situation. Now, again, they make some very, very, very good plugins. My favorite out there is SoftTube without question. That is, if I had to pick one plugin manufacturer on the planet that I had to live with the rest of my life as of today, and of course this always changes, but as of today, it's SoftTube. But Plugin Alliance is a close 2 or 3 for me. They make some fantastic plugins. Not all of them are great, but certainly a ton of them are. But their installer is so freaking pathetic. I mean, look at this crap. Look at it. You have no idea if you've got an update. You have no idea if they've added something. For example, they just added a new plugin to the bundle that I'm subscribed to. And I had to go find it in here. This thing doesn't tell me, and yes, all these installers, when they first come up, they tell you that they need an update if there's an update to the overall installer. Again, all the other ones that I mentioned that are good do that, but not these two. Not these two, not Acoustica Audio and not this. You just don't know, or at least that's been my experience thus far, right? But it is absolutely ridiculous that this plugin manufacturer have this crappy installer. Just Plugin Alliance, get your act together. This is just too much. I should not have to work this hard to use your freaking products. So for the ones that do it great, great. For the ones that suck, you suck. Unsuck. Is that a word? No, that's not a word. Oh, just fix it, okay? Just fix it. All right, so I'm off my little rant. So make sure you're updating your plugins, okay, at least once a month just to check. Maybe you've got some updated ones, maybe you don't, but at least you know, and you want to keep those up to date. So do that. And some of you plugin manufacturers, the only reason I'm making this video right now is to encourage you to do the right thing, because I want to see you succeed. So come on now. Come on. You can do it. Let's do it together. And if you do, you know what? I'll make a video and I'll talk about that, okay? So until next time, I hope every one of you have a great day. Get your maintenance done. Get your recording done. Learn something new every day. Try to be better tomorrow than you were today. Every day of your life and every aspect of your life, not just recording, but every aspect of your life. Always try to be a better human being tomorrow than you are today. That's the best advice I can give you. So bye-bye.